Hello my people, and welcome to the latest and greatest episode of my mountain review series.
I want to say mountains again! Mountains!
FinerBub. Today's video is about hiking the Waihee Ridge Trail, a beautiful but short day hike on the Hawaiian island of Maui. Throughout the video, I'll cover the basic details of our hike, and towards the end I'll share a bonus tip that will help you maximize your Waihee Ridge Trail experience. But before we get into that, just a little tidbit for those of you who don't know. On this channel, I'm all about sharing my thoughts and experiences on the best spots to check out and the best gear to bring with. So if, like me, you want to spend more time outside appreciating the finer things in life, do yourself a favor and consider subscribing. And as always, feel free to check out the description below for links to all the information and resources we used in preparation for this hike. Alrighty then, without further ado, let us begin. Back in May of 2019, my brother and a few of his coworkers won a free trip to Maui. Soon after discovering that his girlfriend wouldn't be able to make it, he graciously invited me to join him in his adventure. The trip included 3 nights in a hotel in addition to a couple pre-planned group activities. If you look on a map, you'll see that Maui is kind of shaped like a peanut, made up of 2 mountains connected by a land bridge or a sandbar of some kind. Most of the resorts, including the hotel we stayed in, are all located along this northwestern shoreline here. So, after spending our first day chilling out on a boat, we decided to spend the following day exploring one of the nearby hiking trails. Located on the eastern side of the West Maui Forest Preserve, the 2-mile-long Waihee Ridge Trail is a great option for anyone staying in this main urban area here or at any of the resorts on this northwestern section of the Peanut. From the parking lot, the trail starts with a steep incline alongside some sort of grazing paddock for the local livestock and eventually starts to flatten out once you get into the woods. Already flattening out a bit. Now we're off that little cement portion. So a lot of the reviews of this hike talked about how muddy it can be, and we're seeing a little bit of that here, but yeah, it's getting a little squishy. Seem to be approaching some kind of a viewpoint here, so in a sec I'll turn you around, give you a look-see. It is hot. Hot, 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 hot. How's it going? Take a look at that. Looks like a pretty soft landing. That was pretty sweet for the first viewpoint. Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Most of this section along the ridge is pretty mild until you hit the final series of switchbacks before the turnaround point. It's starting to clear up. It seems like whenever it rains here, it's really just a momentary thing. Yeah, I think we're in for some good views on the way down at least. Stay tuned. So one interesting thing about Hawaii so far is that we haven't been bothered by the mosquitoes that much. Could be, I mean, we did put some bug spray on this morning before we left, but I don't know, usually they're still around, but I haven't really seen many, so it's definitely a plus. Well, whoever said it is right about the mud. By the time we got there, the view from the top was almost completely obscured by the fog, so we stopped for lunch hoping that it might clear up while we ate. It didn't. Not wanting to get rained on, we started our 2-mile trek back to the car, but as fate would have it, we were in for a bit of a deluge. I don't know if it's like there all year round, but during the second week of May when we were there, the weather was pretty consistent on a day-to-day basis. Every morning would start out hot and sunny, then it would start to get cloudy and rain a bit around lunchtime before clearing up again in the afternoon. It's nice and rainy now. How's it going?
Hey, you get me.
How's it going? Yeah, how's it going? That girl had no shoes on. We got clouds to the left, clouds to the right. Take it back now, y'all. Just whoa, that would be a long way down on either side. Gotta keep that wide stance. It's coming down. Where's Power? Here, Steve, I'm gonna put the rainfly on my backpack. There's Craven coming down the mountain. There he comes. He's worried about slipping, but no slip soap. Oh, close call. This is the first time using this. Oh, no, I need to buckle my buckle. David has to buckle his buckle. Buckling the buckle.
I do.
Two buckles.
My buckle.
Wipe the sweat in the rain.
Sweat off my phone.
Ooh.
It's wet.
At least you can see the mountains. This was by far the most rain we saw the entire trip. Probably because we were high up inside the clouds, but yeah, it never really rained that much by the beach.
Glad I put that fly on.
Oh wow, just getting drenched. It's like so warm though, I don't even care. Wait for those guys. There they are.
That's nice and wet? Oh yeah.
Oh, well now it's stopped. So there you have it. I guess if you're doing this hike, be prepared to get a little wet. But I mean, we brought rain jackets, but we haven't worn them yet. Craven, you do. Yeah. Oh yeah?
My feet are surprisingly dry.
Although steep at times, this trail was extremely mild and when dry should be a great option for trail running. However, the rain made certain sections pretty slippery, so yeah, use your judgment and make sure to take it easy on the wet/muddy sections. At the end of the day, this is a pretty short hike, so the time it takes to complete will depend on how often you stop to take in the scenery. It only took us around 2 hours to hike the 4 miles to the top and back, and that's with filming and stopping for lunch, so if you're in a rush, you can definitely do it in less. We had a pretty good day overall. It was pretty hot and humid out the whole time, so even though we got drenched on the way down, I never really felt the need to put on my jacket. It started to clear up by the time we got down to the car, so we decided to take the scenic route back to the hotel. This brings us to today's bonus tip. Today's bonus tip is brought to you by FinerBub on Instagram. If you want to see photos I took on location while making these videos, in addition to some other random stuff that doesn't make the cut here on YouTube, check out FinerBub on Instagram. I also post stories sometimes, so check those out too if you want to know where I've been filming ahead of time. Today's bonus tip is as follows. If you're staying at one of the many resorts over here, even though this way looks shorter, the roads are very windy and narrow compared to the more well-established roads on this side here. So it's much quicker to drive the long way around compared to driving this seemingly shorter distance. So definitely take this longer route on the way there, and take it both ways if you're in a rush to get back. But if you have some time on your way back, it's definitely worth taking this longer and much more scenic route around these windy cliffs. Very pretty. Thanks again to FinerBub on Instagram for bringing us today's bonus tip. Back to you, Finer. Thanks, bub. All in all, I'd say that the Waihee Ridge Trail is a great option for any tourists who feel like they have been lying on the beach for way too long. It's not a hard hike, but the 4-mile walk combined with the 1,500-foot elevation gain is definitely a good way to sweat out the toxins between pineapple margaritas and the long bouts of inactivity. And with that, I'd like to wish a very warm welcome to those of you who are new to the channel. If this is the first video of mine that you've seen, I just want to let you know that I also make gear review videos in addition to the hiking videos like this one. Speaking of which, my review of the backpack I used on this hike, the Osprey Stratos 34, is doing pretty well compared to my other videos, so if you haven't already, be sure to check that out. People seem to like it. And of course, if you want to learn about some more exciting new places via yours truly, I'll leave some links down below that should suit you quite nicely. Alrighty, my people, that concludes this episode of the FinerBub Show. If you've already hiked the Waihee Ridge Trail, or if you're thinking about checking it out for the first time, I'd love to have you comment below, especially if you think your insight can help me disprove something that I think I already know. But before you do, I just want to thank you oh so much for watching. If you're planning your next trip or looking for new gear, don't let the small details stress you out. Remember, life's an adventure, so relax, breathe in the outdoors, and don't forget to appreciate the finer things in life. See you out there, people. Peace.